This small RV is the Loft by Rossmonster. Now, some of you may consider this a small Class C RV, others a Class B plus. I'm calling it a B-Box. Now, this small RV is built on the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 3500 chassis. And today, I'm going to give you a full walkthrough inside and out, showing you all the different features of this small RV. The Loft has two beds. The first is this queen above me that comes down on rails. And then there is a convertible queen bed here in the dinette / garage area. Has a removable lagoon table. Push that out of the way. And then there is storage in the garage. So you have this large storage area here. These are both accessible from the outside. And that's on both sides. And then a drawer across from me. Nice big drawer. We have our backpacks and things in here. And then the same drawer on this side. At the back, there's this large cargo door for bigger items that you want to bring in here. And those can be strapped down using the L-track in the floor. Now, this area does have windows all around, and I really like that because it lets a lot of light in. And when you're sitting here, you can basically have a great view wherever you are. All of these windows are dual pane. They're awning style. They have a nightshade as well as a bug screen. And here is the queen size bed that's been converted. Now let me bring the loft bed down. To do that, there is a switch here to bring the bed up and down. Now I can bring it part way down so that you can sleep on the bottom and the top, but I'm just going to bring it all the way down. This is a very comfortable bed, and it is a full queen size. When I was sleeping here, I was not hitting the wall on the other side. That's one of the things I really like about these B-Boxes, is that they can make the box in the back wider than a traditional van, so you have a lot more room, especially in the bed, and that makes all the difference in the world. Now with the bed down, you can open the windows and use those just as you would. There are reading lights up here on my left with USB chargers. There is an outlet here if you have a CPAP machine or you need that. There's also one down here on my right. A nice feature is these outlets also have 3 USB plugs. And finally, in the bedroom area, when you have the bed down, you can use the skylight. This does open. It has a nightshade as well as a bug screen. Another great feature about this loft bed is that aside from having just to move these extra pillows out of the way, you can put this up when it's fully made. So you don't have to make your bed every night. I'm 5'11" to give you some idea of the interior height in here. Above me is a 120 volt AC unit, and over here is a 12 volt fan for ventilation. Now in terms of a battery system on here, there are 1,000 amp hours of battery, 440 watts of solar on the roof. This does have a second alternator to charge the battery while you're driving down the road, and a 3,000 watt pure sine inverter. Above the galley area, there are 3 cabinets for storage. They are nice and deep, and then there's a shelf on the end for odds and ends. This has a 2-burner induction stove, a very nice sized sink, more storage below the sink, and here's the refrigerator with a small freezer. On the passenger side, here's the electric panel. Everything is very easy to access. This has a nice large drawer, but you can substitute this for a microwave / convection oven. Small drawer at the top. And in terms of countertop space, you can extend that for when you're making a big meal for people. And this is the control screen. Now, I should mention, this is a prototype of the Loft. So there are some components and things in here that are going to change for the production model, but the layout is essentially the same. There's more storage above the control panel. And let's get into the bathroom. Now, I'm in the entryway, but I'm also in what would be considered the bathroom here. So what I love about this space is they've repurposed it to be dual use. So this is also the shower. Now, if you're around other people, I suggest closing the door before you take a shower, but I guess theoretically you could leave it open. To take a shower, you have your shower wand, plug it in, mount it, and this is your hot and cold water control. This does have a Rixon's heating system that is a diesel powered heater. It also has an electric option, but it's also your hot water heater. If it's cold when you get out of the shower, you can turn on the in-floor radiant heat so your toes are nice and warm. There is a little exhaust vent up here. When you are taking a hot, steamy shower, you can exhaust that outside and keep the humidity from the van. In terms of tank sizes, this has a 40-gallon freshwater tank. It has 24 gallons of gray water that's separated into two 12-gallon tanks. So one tank for the shower, the other for the sink. This also has a portable toilet. So in this closet here at the very bottom is the toilet. It's on a tray that you can pull out. And they do have different options for the toilet. But I like how much space there is for different things in here. They have a spare cassette. You have your water hoses, toilet paper, various other things. In the cab of the Sprinter, both the driver and passenger seats turn around, so you can have these as seating areas as well. And if you need 2 extra seats, it does have this optional bench seat. This bench seat is an additional upgrade. If you don't want the bench seat, you can get additional cabinets that sit right here. We do like how much storage is in this camper, and there's also this cabinet that's above the cab for even more storage. Before we go outside, this does have a screen, rolls down, and it just has magnets along the side for when you go in and out. This is built on the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 3500 chassis. It's all-wheel drive with a 144-inch wheelbase, the 4-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine, and a 24.5-gallon fuel tank. They have upgraded suspension with off-road wheels and tires, as well as a super single kit in the rear. In terms of construction for the box, they make it using a vacuum-infused composite. It is 4-season compatible, and as you can see above me, there is a nice large awning for hot sunny days like today. This small RV is just under 11 feet tall and has an overall length of 20 feet 8 inches. On the passenger side, this has an external shower, and this is where your freshwater fill is for that 40-gallon freshwater tank. And here's the access to the under dinette storage I showed you earlier. There's a nice big space in here. And one thing I like is that you have easy access to the Rixson system as well as all your water control valves. This has the optional MOLLE panels on the back, spare tire carrier, and here is that access door I showed you earlier for the larger items. This also has 2 backup cameras, one at the top and one down here at the bumper. On the driver's side is your shore power connection, as well as the other access panel to that under dinette storage. There is a lot of room in this under dinette storage area, and then down here you have access to your battery and electrical system. So this has 1,000 amp hours of lithium batteries, 3,000 watt pure sine inverter with 440 watts of solar on the roof. This is also a good time to mention that this is pre-wired for Starlink and there is a plug on the roof. Another interesting feature is they designed these 2 rear bays to actually be a pass-through. So now you can slide long items side to side. There is one more storage area here on the exterior, along with access to the drain for the sink. The last thing I'll point out on this small RV is the 40-inch light bar above the cab. Now the question on everyone's mind is, how much is it? The Rossmonster LOFT starts at $285,000 and goes up from there depending on the options you choose. I would love to know what you think of the LOFT down in the comments below, and stay tuned for the travel video we're going to do with the LOFT, showing you what it's like to camp and travel in something this size. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Bye. This video is sponsored by Rossmonster.